Good night, teacher and partners. We are group number 3 and we are made up of the following people. The integrants are Nicole Chavarria,
Present.
Brittany Palacios,
Present.
Paola Palomeque,
Present.
Alexis Niacato,
Present.
Jairo Rea,
Present.
Edgar Rosero,
Present.
and my person, Stalin Ruiz. Will now we are going to tell you about two very useful applications that are Hinative and application Babbel, so that we can learn English in a more practical and simple way, in addition to helping us understand the language in conjunction with the technology we currently use. The first application is Babbel. This application helps us learn the language online with these different styles of learning. Let's start with Nicole. Uh, could you tell us how we signed up for Babbel?
Okay, teacher. One moment. Okay. First, start. We register start. Next, the read begins by asking use what language we want to learn. Obviously, choose English. Next, from we cannot put any of those options only because we want to learn this language. Next, we must put how much we know about that language. Next, how long we want to practice in per day. And next, how old we are. Next, how we learn about the application. Okay, next, there he asks use for or name. After that, we must put our email and a password that we will not forget. Okay. After that, we should receive a notification in the email confirming the account with a link, and that link takes you directly to our Babbel account, and we can now use it in the application. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much for your explanation. Now that we know how they registered, Brittany, what are the functions of Babbel?
One moment, teacher. This is give us the ease of customizing. The way we learn appears if we start here. We can modify our quickly object. We are going to click to the right in the part where it says define your objective, and there we are going to define how often we'll review. By clicking on more courses, we can find more activities by this focus more on increasing our vocabulary, grammar, and understanding the English language by this of lesson. And it's right in the part where we'll use to the speech recognition function. just as we are looking on the screen. In the My Level section, we can choose different types of courses depending on the level of difficulty we want to learn. By going by going to section of list, we are going to define different classes only with qualified teacher. These classes can be chosen according to our interests. In the topic you want to learn and will ask us to take a level test to own your level of English. Finally, in the Babbel practice section, according to the activities have been doing before, we recommend that we work to meet a daily goal in order to increase our knowledge so they so that they continue to expand. Thank you, teacher.
Excellent participation, Brittany. Now, Edgar, with a practical example, they'll use how to use Babel, please.
Okay, teacher, one moment. Okay, after registering and getting to know the functions of the Babel application, if first we chose which work we want to do. For example, we are going to choose the practice. Here we choose activity that will be vocabulary and the start activity. We have several ways to practice English, such as didactic worksheets, listening, speaking, and writing. For this example, I will choose uh, listening.
Hi.
In Babel, as the exercise is listening, the application will tell us the word and we must choose the correct answer.
Hi.
Okay. Hi is hola en Spanish.
Goodbye.
Goodbye es adiós.
Thank you.
Thank you es gracias.
Good night.
Good night, buenas noches.
Good morning.
Good morning, buenos días.
Good evening.
Good evening, buenas tardes o noches. And, and when the activity ends, the application indicates our mistakes and successes. In this way, we can practice and learn English and using the Babbel application. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Edgar. Uh, this application has several ways of teaching used to learn the language through pronunciation, reading, and also listening. And the second application is Hinative, which is application that allows used to interact through messages with native people from other countries. Now, Paola, how can we sing for Hinative?
Okay, teacher woman, I proceed to present my screen. First, we chose if we register in our account of Google, Facebook, and Twitter. Subsequently, we will be shown a screen in which we must confirm our full name according to the access method that we have previously chosen. Then we will begin to see some traits of Hinative since we will be asked to specific or native language, choose the language of interest and the level of learning that we have at that moment, region and username, and we put next. A window may appear that says if we want the application to send us a newsletter which all the new related to Hinative. Sometimes that's really many are used to ignore it. In the same way, there will be specifications about the applications that we must take into account, and depending on what comes out, we can put any options of our preference. With these tips, we will have successfully entered this platform for language learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Let's continue with Jairo. Tell me what are the functions of the Hinative?
Okay, teacher, one moment, please. In the on the right side, we have the question icon, which shows the different alternatives to ask the question. So we go to the first option that the child of how to solve in the part we will about now what word. Phrase or sentence that we are looking for could be said in the language that we select so we can change the language in the English or Spanish. And future that we will place the word place on the sentence or we could also upload an imaging of send about audio and hear in information. Additional, we can place a word, parts, or sentence word, but in the any language. At the second option, we have to tell how it sound natural. In this part, we will be able to count if at the moment we speak down an audio, the people how listen to it open if it is will or validly spoke. At the third option, we have a fourth language neighbor. Like in this part, it is about that we can write a diary at the time of the fight and night will correct use and the might use see that we have file so in the same way we will choose the language we will place the pairs of sentence that we have considered we publish and later we will come out what the native expert will tell use if we have been good or have been had. As for option, we have the leader that is means in this part. It is about that first we must select the language here in Spanish or English. Below, we will place the word parts on sentence that they will uh, be looking of the main, or we can also put an imaging or the voice audio. As seventh option, we have a little place show me how to pronounce in the part we have to select the language here in the Spanish or English. Below the match place a word, parts or sentence to be about to show how in this pronounced. As the eighth option, we have a little how is pronounced. In this part, we have select the language in Spanish or English below the much place of voice audio to canal how our pronunciation is if the word or how. At night option we have the leader ask the question about a country or region. In this part we have to select the language earth in the Spanish or English below the much place part or sentence in question related to country or region or they can also place on the image. Same option we have to escape another question in this part. We have to select language in the Spanish or English. Below we match with a question about anything or we can also place an image or a box of it. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much for your participation. And finally, Alexis, can you tell me with a practical example how to use Hinative?
Yes, teacher. I will show a practical example of the function of Hinative. Click to ask first, how do you say this? How do you say this in English or Spanish? To write word, phrase, or sentence. Next, click to ask. How do you say this in English? Another function. This question is about English or Spanish. What does to write word, phrase, or sentence? Click to ask. Question about English. What does non plus mean? Another function. This question is about English or Spanish. What is the difference between word, phrase, or sentence? And word, phrase, or sentence. Question about English. What is the difference between share and star? Another function. This question is about English or Spanish. Please show me examples, sentences quick, word, phrase, or sentence. Up. Next, ask. Please show me example sentence with have. Tell me as many daily expressions as possible. Another function. This question is about English or Spanish. Please show me how to pronounce. Next, to ask. Please show me how to pronounce. Next, how is my pronunciation? This question is about English or Spanish. How my pronunciation? Click to record and voice answers. Click the microphone to begin recording. Non plus. Additional information. Ask. Then, then we will receive a notification if some respond to this. For example, the college answered my question. Please show me how to pronunciation 2018.
2018.
We can answer with a thank you. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Alexis. And this application helps us to know about the culture and traditions of native people of other countries. So we learn to know about different nations. These have been the two applications, Hinative and Babbel, that we can use to learn this language that is so useful today, and we can do in it a more dynamic way with the of technology. We hope it will serve you both in your student life and in the workplace. Thank you for time and good evening.